You are listening to the My 1 Cent podcast. Thanks and enjoy.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Greetings and salutations from the My 1 Cent podcast. Welcome back, everybody. And I hope I didn't lose many of you being on this brief hiatus the show was on. I know I had recently posted a little one of those under construction bullshits. Yeah, make a couple changes here and there to the show. Basically, taking it back to the roots of what this show was, and that's me. It's plain and simple, you know. What can I tell you?
Surprise, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. No, for real, though. Yeah, I've been thinking about making some changes on the show as far as the direction of the show was going. Now, the guys will be coming back on. That's not going to change. You know, we have things we gotta discuss. A lot going on with the Finns right now. I might touch on a few things today on this episode. On this solo, because I'm solo. I haven't been solo in a while. I don't remember the last one I did solo. I know I did one. I forgot what the topic even was. I don't feel like looking at my notes. Excuse me. But yeah, Alone, like one of my favorite shows, which that is actually a tease, which just happened because I wasn't planning on doing that. I have something in the works that I want to do, which is a Alone versus Naked and Afraid episode. But it ain't much of a versus because I personally don't believe that it's any competition. Alone is superior, and that's it. But that's something down the line. Probably waiting till the new season gets closer. That show is amazing. So yeah, I'm Dolo. I mean, it is the My 1 Cent, but it was always cool having 4 mouths or 3 mouths or 2 mouths. Now 1 mouth to speak. So, welcome back. Hopefully this direction, or redirection, because it's just going back to what it was. For those of you who have been with us since the beginning, I should be a good thing for you guys. I'm sure I lost a few here and there during the heavy sports time, which is fine. Because we talk sports. I talk sports. I love sports. I'm a Dolphin fan, Marlins fan, Heat fan, Gator fan. You know, I'm season ticket holder to the Dolphins. So sports is going to be always part of the show. But it was always fun doing the things I did before. And so it's time. It's time. So for the however many of you are listening or do listen and have listened, I hope that you enjoy the new direction or the old direction. I don't know. I'm just spinning in circles here before I end up going down the rabbit hole. Now, there's a lot to talk about, actually. Lots happened the last couple of weeks since we've been off the air. Well, does that make sense? Because we're not really on the air. We're not on the radio. This is, just saying. And so, actually, you know what? Before we get into what we're going to get into, I want to give a shout out real quick to a couple podcasts that I've gotten cool with on the gram. And let's give a little shout out, A little shout out. So while I prepare that, I'm going to give you guys a little entertainment. Yeah. Hey, and I'm back. Welcome. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do this towards the end of the podcast. I'll set this up right. I don't want to leave anybody out. That'd be kind of shitty. So, like I said, a lot going on. Lots happened. Spring break just passed. And that's going to be the meat of this because I have some things to say about spring break. Or at least the people who were here during spring break who caused all the ruckus that they cause. And it's funny because I think it's Only in Dade did a meme or whatever they call it, a meme. That's hilarious. I know. Thank you. I'll be here all week. That said something about, the people causing all the shit in the beach don't live here because people in Miami don't go to South Beach. I know I fucked that up and I'm sorry about that, Only in Dade. But you get the gist. You know what I'm saying. So, yeah, dude, look, man. And I'm not calling anybody out specifically, though I don't really have to. I mean, we all have TVs. We all saw. But anyway, what's the point of destroying a restaurant and causing all that, ruckus, and anarchy for no reason? For what? All you're doing is making it easier for the beach to decide to say, you know what, we're not dealing with this shit anymore. And that's it. And when it's a big holiday coming up, they're going to shut the beach down. They're going to shut it down to residents and people who they don't believe are there to cause trouble. I don't know how they're going to figure that out, but I'm saying I feel it's going to be a drastic approach by the city because it's ridiculous, dude. It's fucking ridiculous. Dude, they had to... I've never seen that before, at least not here, that they had to come, that, the boys...
Bad boys, what you want, what you gonna do?
That the boys had to come out in force the way they did to clear the beach. Like, it was insane. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Oh, yeah, it's crazy, dude. That's crazy. That was insane. That video was crazy. Watching the cops just like a wave, just on the crushing down on everybody, like in a movie, and the water comes into the city, and it's crazy. I never seen anything like that. But the only people to blame for that are the individuals who perform the acts that caused this to happen. And it sucks. Because, look, I feel for the people who live in the beach. The people who it took 2 hours to get to their house because they couldn't get in because of all the bullshit. That's not fair to the people who live there. People got to go to work, but we got shit to do. Shit. And then you got the fucking, the dashers. The dine and dashers. Dude, there's this one video of a guy running. It's funny because he slips and he busts his ass and he almost gets away. But those two waiters, boy, they got that man. I would have whooped his ass. I would have started kicking him and shit. They didn't do that. They held him when the guy went around a car. And I should post this. But the thing is, okay, for just a heads up for now, so this isn't video. This is all audio, which is the only reason you're getting the show sounds again. Which is also another reason I'm very excited. Because I haven't been able to use my show sounds for a very long time. And I love them. So this is going to be just audio. Now, we'll be on YouTube. I'm going to post it to YouTube with a picture and the little waves that as you hear my voice. Miss Pat used to do that, bro. So it's not like out of the ordinary, I know people love to look at my face. I get it. I have that face, But it's, we're going to have to live with that right now, So I can figure out how to put it all together, So this dude gets his ass caught. Okay, now the funny thing is, the first time they got him, they pick him up and they start walking. Then he takes off again, but he slips. Sorry, I had to burp. Just had some coffee. And he slips, and then they grab him again. Now, I was talking about it, and I was like, man, it's funny because the waiters, what is the incentive for the waiters? Other than from what I understand, when this thing happens, the waiters end up having to pay for the meal. Now, honestly, I don't think that happens in these bigger and like these higher end restaurants because these bills can be quite expensive, and you can't blame the waiter if at one moment that he went to go to the kitchen or take something, whatever, he's not there. That people leave. Now, I know in places like a Denny's, I had to be specific to Denny's because I actually have a story about that, of a little dine and dash that I did in high school. Not proud of it. I'm not. And I'm not even getting into detail. Point is that I know that in places like that, that bill has to be paid by the waiter or waitress. Let me be politically correct there. There's both. So, yeah. Now, okay, I don't know for sure if that restaurant does that, has that policy. And if they did, then I kind of understand why the guys did that, why the waiters made what they did. And I heard this somewhere when that happened, like last week or whatever, somebody had mentioned, which I thought was funny, and it makes a lot of sense. I think people wait for moments like that to be able to, spring into action and shit. And then some freeze, and they regret it. I've seen stuff on TV, and I'm like, shit, man, why does shit like that ever happen when I'm around? So I can be like, hey, stop this, or the crime, or help this guy, or help this person. That'd be pretty kind of cool. But anyway, so I wonder if these waiters talk about that and be like, hey, man, I'm like, they can tell, like they feel it when they're serving someone. I go, look, I have a feeling this motherfucker right here is gonna make a move, bro. I gotta keep my eye on that, man. They get ready, tie their shoes a little tighter, They take everything out of their pockets just in case they gotta make that jolt for the guy. That'd be fun. That's funny. If that's like an inner workings of the waiter, community, and they talk about that stuff. It'd be funny. There's like an underground waiter training, how to catch these people when they take off. Okay, yeah, that's rabbit hole. But it's fucked up, man. It's fucked up to do that. And so that guy got caught. I don't know what ended up happening with him, because it makes me think: did he even have the money to pay? Because I wonder if some of these people go in thinking that already. Like they say, you know what? I want to eat here. I ain't got the bread for it, and I know that. I'm still gonna do it, and I'm gonna make the move. Because at the end of the day, you have to make sure. Look, everything has to be planned right in a sense. If you get stuck in like the table on the deepest part of the restaurant inside, dude, how are you gonna make that move? Because you can go to the bathroom, and the bathroom is usually in the back, so it's not like the bathroom's gonna lead you closer to the front door where you could just like just casually walk out. And you probably could. You'd be surprised how many times it probably happens that way. Person just casually walked out. I don't think it's always a run from inside the establishment. The running, I think, happens outside. Once they hit the door, boom, they're gone. But if you're eating outside, I guess that's just boom, out the door. So you have to either hope you get seated outside, or I guess you can ask for it. I think in the beach, though, they're a little picky. Like they don't let you pick shit. I don't know. I don't go to the beach. I don't go to South Beach. I go to Hollywood. Yeah, Taco Shack. Boy, that shit's fire. Check it out. So it makes me wonder, did he have the money or not? So you got him. Bring him back. Cops get there. At the end, what happens then? If he doesn't have the money, obviously he's going to get arrested. He's going to get arrested probably anyway, or at least get a citation. And then so the restaurant's out of a meal, probably an expensive one, and hopefully, to me, they don't have the policy where the waiter has to pay for that, because that's not fair either. In this case, if the guy can't pay for it, the restaurant needs to say, you know what, we got you, waiter, because you went out and you got this man. Like, you risked yourself for that. And I saw another one. Fucking people, bro. I saw another one that the cops were there. They had him, big dude. I don't think that guy was running much. And they're handcuffing him and shit. They're putting him on the table. And I'm gonna leave race out of this. I'm just not even gonna say who was who, what color the cop was, what color the guy was, what color this guy or that guy. Think of us as the Simpsons. We're all yellow. How about that? So the guy's getting arrested, and some patrons that are there in the area. Oh, let me take a little swig of my coffee. It's good stuff. There's two ladies there, and they're yelling, "Oh, we'll pay for it." And I'm like, if I was the cop, I would look at them and be like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me." You know what? How about you just don't do it? If you can't do the time, don't do the crime. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jesus, dude. I get that you want to help the guy out, but I mean, come on, bro. Like, just stay out of this shit. And I know why they do it, but I'm not going to get into it. And so, yeah, come on. Dude, you got caught. I mean, what's the worst? What's the worst that's going to happen with that kind of charge? Seriously. I mean, it can't be like a major charge. You know? I don't even know what that falls under. I mean, because the food's already in you. I would be like, you want me to vomit? But, there's the food. You got it back. Stupid motherfuckers. So, yeah, if you can't do the crime, don't do the time. No, I said that wrong, right? If you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Yeah, it's wake and bake, baby. Woo! So, speaking of crime and committing crimes, I've gotten into this new show, To Catch a Smuggler. And the name always takes me to another show who I was a huge fan of that doesn't exist, which I thought I read they might be bringing back. And if they do, they better bring it back with the same guy. And I think by now you guys know what I'm talking about because obviously the name is in the name. To Catch a Predator. I love that fucking show, bro. Oh, hey. Okay. So, I love that show. And I know that that's still happening. You know, the people doing the crimes. But he's not doing the show. But I wish he was. I wish they still had it. Because I'm sure they can continue to catch people left and right because these people are idiots. Idiots. Do you not know the moment that you write something on the internet regarding child pornography, and I hate saying that shit on here because that could bring me problems, you're already putting yourself a red flag in the air. They're watching everything. They're listening to everything. You know that you can't even say child pornography on your phone as through a text voice and because it gives it to you an asterisk? It doesn't even spell it out for you. That's how crazy that is. And it should be. That's just insane. Anyway, that show to me was a positive in the world, and it needs to come back. It needs to come back. Plain and simple. This is a huge problem, and sex trafficking, child, kidnapping, all that shit, fucking ridiculous, bro. That's a lot of that's going on, dude. And I've heard a bunch of people talk about that, and we're not going there with this. And I hate to go from what I'm saying now to try to be, humorous with the rest of the show because that's probably what I end up doing. But not about this. This is crazy. A lot of people talk about all the shit that the government is worried about. This is not one of them, and they need to be. Okay? Plain and simple. Bring it back. Catch a Predator. Chris Hansen. Let's go. So, To Catch a Smuggler. The name pretty much tell you what the show's about. But it's cool because they go to different airports around the country. They're specific to L.A., New York, Atlanta, and of course Miami. And it's Border Patrol. It's Fish and Wildlife. I think they're all one thing because the Homeland Security I think they're all under Homeland now, at least in the airport. And it's basically that, To Catch a Smuggler. It's it's a reality show watching. They follow a few of the I don't know what they're called in the airport. They're cops, police, Homeland Security. Some of them are clear. They're border protection or border patrol, whatever. I guess it depends where they're at. But anyway, I really got into it just watching these people trying to bring shit in, and how they go through their process of deciding on who they want to stop to question. And sometimes it's just they stop you, ask you for your passport, ask you a couple of things, and then they decide, okay, whatever, you're good, they let you go. Sometimes they'll bring you over to the table, they'll go through your stuff. But let me tell you, bro, they're fucking thorough, dude. They really are. Like, they look at everything. And, like, there's been a couple times that I've seen that they've, like, opened stuff that shouldn't have been open because it was, like, the way that it was brought here should have stayed that way. And it wasn't anything bad. I'm trying to remember a specific situation, and it's like they ruin the packaging and shit, for nothing sometimes. But I get why they do it. They have to do that. They have to make sure. But you should be surprised the kind of ways these motherfuckers try to get shit in, bro. Dude, I saw one where, let me see if I can remember, because I want to get my story correct. I have all the facts. My God, what was it in? Was it a sausage? I think the one was a sausage. Like, they had fucking things of heroin inside of sausages. They had one where it came in pistons for engines. But, like, these pistons were... Look at me. Oh, my God. I've gotten so used to doing the camera, the video, that I'm doing, like, a visual. I'm holding up my hand in a circle to show you how big the cylinder or how big the thing was. But just... And by the way, the only reason I'm not doing video, just so everybody knows, is that... Okay, I remember from the beginning I've always said that I'm very transparent with the show, and, you know, like, the goods, the bad, you're going to see them. So I don't have a problem talking about some of the inconsistencies or lack of equipment or whatever the case may be to make the show great. Which the show's great anyway, but I'm saying, you know what I mean? My camera on this laptop that I do the show on, for some reason, the audio is very low. Even with my mic connected. Very low. So it just comes out bad, and I don't like it. That's it. Plain and simple. Sucks. So I'm not doing video right now until I get that resolved. Now, when I bring the guys back on, we'll probably have video then. Because that's how I bring them on, through Skype and shit. Yeah, we do. Yes, a little, this is a Dunkin' Donuts regular blend, I think it's called. I don't know. They have a decaf that's really good. I drink that at night, you know, so it doesn't keep me up, which doesn't really matter because I don't sleep anyway. So the way these people work is funny. And I don't know, man. I feel like some of their stories, when they get held in, and they brought in, and the people still think that there's something going on. Like, they may clear your luggage, and okay, if they get you past the passport check, as you're walking in, and they bring you to the luggage area, or if you get past that, meaning that they don't find nothing, but they still think something's up, then they'll move them into a room and they'll do a body check, just pat down, basically. I don't know why they don't do it right there, and if there's nothing there, and they still think something's up, oh, buddy, you're going for the X-ray. Oh, yeah, unless you confess, which they try to tell people, listen, we're going to know. You know what they try to do, bro. They try to convince you. But these motherfuckers are lying, too, sometimes, man, because they'll leave the room, they'll do something, and they'll come back, and they'll tell the person they did something they didn't do, like make a phone call to somebody. They already know information that they don't have. And the cops try to do that shit to trick motherfuckers into admitting shit. But sometimes you can tell the ones that might have something on them in their body, because, like, they're sitting there, and after a while, they're, like, you see them moving around, and they're putting their hands under their legs to, like, lift themselves, because they're probably feeling a lot of pressure inside that this stuff needs to come out. And let me tell you, bro, how desperate. Look, people say that, I don't know if you have to be desperate to do what Cubans do when they get on the water, because that's you're risking your life. And a lot of Cubans have died trying to make that jump from Cuba to America on the water, because that's the way we do it. But how desperate do you have to be to swallow baggies of drugs and try to bring them into this country? The risk of one of those bags opening inside you is apparently high. Or, I don't know. Maybe I made that up. I don't know. I don't check stats. Yeah. Well, I do sometimes, but it's just whatever. So, I assume that the risk is obviously high. And if it happens, you're dead. You know what I'm saying? And how much could you actually be getting paid as a mule, to do this shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's crazy. I think that I get it. There's desperation. I get it. People are desperate, and I don't want to say I don't blame them. There's times you just got to do what you got to do. But damn, I could never imagine that. I wouldn't do that anyway. I don't know. I can't swallow that shit, bro. I ain't trying to swallow that shit. Fuck that. I'm good, bro. But man, the stories that you hear of other people, like people bring them. I've seen people bringing in their thighs. Or they'll cut their thighs open, stick kilo in that bitch, sew that fucker up. That happened here. They caught a guy. Oh my god, there was a dude who brought birds from Cuba in a fucking pill bottle, bro. I couldn't believe it. And they were alive. They were fucking alive. Well, they had 4 bottles One died. But they're rare birds that don't exist nowhere but Cuba, and they're very expensive here apparently. And the guy brings them in little pill bottles with holes in them. They're just sitting in it. Like it's that part bugs me. That bugs me when they do shit like that. They've tried to bring in live animals in a case, like in a suitcase and shit. Like, dude, what is the matter with you, bro? It's insane. One thing I didn't know, which was kind of cool, they had opened a box of stuffed animals, I guess from a safari, and I forgot where it said it came from. So they were already mounted to be, on their heads on the, I don't know what you call that, a plaque, I guess, or whatever, ready to go up on a wall. But the guy was saying that you have to check well because a lot of times some people do shady taxidermy work. Hey, said it right. I don't know if you guys hear that bloop, bloop. Well, I have a leak in my first floor, not ceiling, the frame of one of the door that is in the washer and dryer room has a leak coming from the frame, on top of the door frame. It's like a little partition wall that's right under the AC. So my thinking is that the AC is the drain pipe that goes outside to release the water. I think it has a crack in it, and it's causing that little piece of water to run. Because water is amazing. Water will always find a way out. I don't know. It's just the smallest opening, it's gone. And so, hold on a second. We got what do we got here? Who's calling? Oh, 1 second, folks. I'm gonna take a quick pause. We'll be right back. And we're back. Sorry about that. Though it's funny, I was gone for like 15 minutes, but you wouldn't know that. I gotta put something in the middle there. When I do the editing, I might throw something in there to pass the time for y'all. For the whole 8 seconds I was gone or whatever, it was gonna be. But anyway, so like I was saying, I don't know, was I talking about the leak? Possibly. I don't know. Well, wherever I was with these to catch a smuggler, if I remember correctly, where I was the heads. Yes, heads. Cabezas. Well, the guy was saying you have to check because there's a lot of shoddy taxidermy work, and sometimes the shit comes with flesh still on it, and that's rotting. That's disease. And that brings... Bro, these people look for the smallest things. There was a package... actually, a bunch of the other items that came with that shipment. There was bones. There was like tusks. They were wrapped up in white stuff, white wrapping, and then plastic. And inside the plastic, you can see these little ants, little bugs, and they're like, "Yo, sorry, bye bye." Just any little thing like that can become an invasive species. So, I mean, there's a lot that goes on, and I think it's cool. Okay. I think there's an advantage, well, not an advantage, but I think there's a disadvantage of having a show like that too. People that watch it can say, okay, well, now I know what they look for. Now, I'm sure they don't show you everything. But, I mean, how much more can they have, really? I mean, they have x-ray machines. They have the people going through all your shit. Like, what more? Like, what's the next? Superman with fucking supervision? X-ray vision? I mean, I don't know. Is he hiding in the back waiting for the camera crew to leave before then they really check the packages? I don't know, I'm just saying. It's crazy. But, yeah, so I just, if you guys haven't checked it out, I think it's on, I want to say, the History Channel. I watch on Hulu, because Hulu's pretty cool. But, yeah, check it out. It's a cool show. I think it's interesting, the people who come in, not everybody's carrying something. So, they show you that, and they show you when they get somebody. I'm trying to think. There was one. The guy brought in these little balls, but I forgot what. It was something about where he had them. That was the funky part. Shit. I remember this one lady though. She had these like really thick-soled shoes. She was coming from Colombia. Real nice too. She didn't cause a problem. In fact, at the end, she even said to the guys, "You guys are very professional," and I appreciate that. So her shoes very thick-soled, and again, thinking I'm doing video because I'm holding my hand up showing how thick this shoe is. We're looking at least 2-inch thick, maybe 1 3/4. And they stick this poker, basically, that has some ridges in it, like some cuts in it. So what happens is it's made for that. They stick it in, and when they go to come out, if there's any coke in there, drugs or whatever, it'll stay inside those ridges and come out with it. It's pretty dope that they have that. But they didn't find anything on her. I wonder if they told her that they poked holes in her shoes, but I don't know. Just saying. Okay. Like I said earlier, there's a lot of stuff that we've, kind of catch up on. A lot of stuff that's been going on. Obviously, not having Justin on this episode or any episode, it's tough to talk about this. Let's try that again. It's hard to talk about this.
You're not gonna tell me. You'll never forget me. You're not gonna tell me.
Yeah, you know what that is. Yes, you do. And I know there's some of y'all that are turning it off as we speak. And that's cool. It's not for everybody. That last part is funny when the wave hits. It's hilarious. Yes, you know what that means. Now, I'm not going to do a whole thing. Not going to do a whole thing because that's me and Justin, man. Not going to lie. That's me and my boys' thing. We gotta talk about Dr. Blake and I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to spoil it because I definitely got to get him on sometime either this week or next week just to do, our Temptation Island update. But I wanted to play the song because I have my sounds back and I love it. And just a minor recap. Like things are taking turns here. Like certain people were going in one direction, and all of a sudden, I think things are changing. I might be changing my prediction that none of the couples are going to survive this, and I'm rethinking that. But I'm not going to tell you who because, I don't want to spoil it. And I don't want to ruin it for when, I do the show with Justin. Yeah, I think I'm changing my mind on that. So just want to say that. And it's such a good show, man. Fuck. I love that shit. With that being said, because if I know that if I keep going, I'm going to do it. And I don't want to do it because I want to save it. I want to be cool about it. I want to, do that thing. Look, real quick, before I do go, Miami Dolphins. They made some moves recently. They went ahead and they moved out of the number 3 spot and moved to 12 with, San Francisco. And in return, they got the 2022 first, I think 2023 first, a third rounder this year. And I think we also gave up like a 4th or a 5th or something later on, along with the number 3 pick. And then we parlayed one of those first round picks to Philly to move into 6. And I forgot what else the move was. I mean, the important stuff is the first rounders and where we ended up as far as this update goes. So, what I love about what they're doing is that they're positioning themselves in case Tua doesn't work out, and I have to say it, I hate saying it, but I have to say it, in case he doesn't work out, that we have the ability to, we're going to be in a position to draft another quarterback. So, unfortunately, that's the case. But I'm glad to think it that way because I would do that for anybody. If you can continue to have the draft capital, if he works out, then you use it on something else. It's that simple. So there's nothing wrong with maneuvering yourself to a position that you'll have draft capital, whether it be for the quarterback in 3 years or not. It's not a shot at Tua. It's smart. That's it. Plain and simple. And so now I'm interested. When they made the move to 12, I was like, okay. So now I started thinking, what does that do for us as far as, because we still had 18 and 36 and 50. So I'm thinking, what do we do there now at 12? Thinking Pitts. But the way it's going now, I feel he's going to be a top 5 pick. Top 10. Top 5 look crazy. Even though I think we would have taken them at 3. Believe it or not. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. That's a good song. Never thought I could be so free. That's from The Greatest American Hero, one of the greatest shows in the 80s. And I'm only thinking about it because Paul Castanova's show had they did a March Madness thing for TV theme songs. I forgot who won. I got to check it out. So, Dolphins. Well, that's where I was, right? Yeah. See what happens, bro? Rabbit hole. Yeah, I like what they're doing. So now, what do we do at 12? That's what my thinking was at the time. And then, 5 minutes later, boom, Dolphins trade number 12 pick to the Phillies and they move into the number 6 slot now. So we get one of those first rounders to get to do that. So now we're back into the Chase, which I think he's going to Cincinnati. The Chase, Smith, Waddle, Pitts, spot again. Me personally, at this point, since we signed Will Fuller, and again, I don't want to do too much because I want to have some ammo for when the guys come on. You go Pitts at 6, Harris at 18, Tony at 36, baby. Come on. That's fucking... You wanted weapons for Tua? That's weapons for Tua. Plain and simple. There's no ifs or ands about it. Plain and simple. Punto y abate. You understand? You understand what I'm saying to you, man? That would be fucking amazing. You know what I would tell defenses around the league? To suck on these
nuts.
Suck on
These nuts.
Suck
These
on
nuts. These nuts.
I'm sorry, dude. My little show sounds, bro. I love them. And one more last thing before we go. The best team in the NHL. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me for another great episode of the Mount Wilson Podcast. One more wait. Man, I do this shit all the time. Fucking annoying. But, hey, it is what it is. But I said I wanted to do this at the end of the show, so I don't want to forget, even though I'm probably going to forget someone along the line. But, I'll get to you eventually, because I like giving little shout-outs to other podcasts that are out there. And we've developed a little bit of a community here with some of these podcasts that I'm gonna tell you guys about. And it's kind of cool. We support each other. And that's how it should be. That's how it should be. We're all in this together. We're all in trying to get that nut. We all do something different. We all bring something different to the table. So, with that being said, quick shout-outs. Talking Single podcast for ladies from the UK. Great accents. Love it. The Beauty Unlocked podcast. She's doing some good stuff. Jeff and Jared Save the World. Seem like funny guys. Now, mind you, I haven't had a chance to check out all these podcasts. Usually get clips, snippets. But I really like their name. And their name is big when it comes to podcasts. I think your name has a lot to do with your success. Bad Counsel. Shout out to Bad Counsel. That was doing some good shit. Broke Knock Life. Love the name too. Those guys are doing some good stuff. Sports City. Banging. Be putting out some good content, some good questions. Be interacting with them a lot. As he knows, I am not a LeBron fan. Fuck LeBron James. Contras. Did I say Contras that made us yet? Shit, I hope I did. You got a double shout out. I got a lot of scrabble on my notepad here, man, and it's been 2 weeks since I've done a podcast. I feel a little rusty. And to close it off, the one who put it all together, the number one podcast in Toronto, the Amused Podcast. So you can find all these podcasts on Instagram for sure, and I'm sure on most podcast platforms. I think some have YouTube page channels. Excuse me. I don't think they all do. But definitely on the platforms, iTunes, Google, iHeart, etc., etc., etc. So, now, thank you for joining me. Until next time.